It looks like we are live. Welcome back to the channel, boys and girls. It's the Mining Market Signal once again with your host. You know who this is, and you're on the Mind Your Biz channel. And if you don't know who this is, just call me Mind Your Biz. We're trying to go more, low key. I had one of my kids today say that a kid at school said, "I'm never going to forgive you." My son asks him why. He goes, "Well, because your dad said something on the internet." My son didn't even know what he was talking about, and I didn't even know that this kid, that people were complaining to their kids about stuff that I say online. So anyway, whatever, guys, leave the kids out of it. Seriously, leave them alone. But let's jump straight into the Fear and Greed Index. We still got a score of 79. Let me go ahead and refresh that one more time just to be sure my eyes aren't deceiving me. No, it's right there. We're solidly in extreme greed, guys, and we have been for a little while. This is the new normal for us in crypto right now. And gosh darn it, it looks like we're going to stay here for just a little bit longer. For my part, I view this as a little bit of a counter indicator. Is that financial, legal, or business advice? Is it self-defense advice? Is it advice on how to trim your toenails or how to keep your cuticles clear if you don't have anyone to go and get a mani-pedi done with? No, it isn't. Not at all. But always got to say it. Always have to flash that card. Nothing personal. It's just that, the platform loves to see me disclaim every single time we go live that I'm not trying to give advice. And you guys, it's part of the game. It's part of the little song and dance. So I apologize for that, but we got to do it. Must be done. But our Fear and Greed Index is definitely 79. Does that mean we're going to live in consistent greed? Does that mean the price is going to go up? Well, let's talk about that in a little bit. But right now, the trend is definitely greedy. For my part, I view this as a counter indicator. Just means that when I see everybody else getting greedy, I start to feel a little bit cautious. I won't say fearful. I'm not quite fearful, but I definitely start to feel a little more cautious when everybody else gets greedy. And we're at this point now where, you remember, the extreme fear is now almost a distant memory. We're almost back where that full month of history, we were at least at a neutral sentiment, if not at a fully greedy sentiment for about a full calendar month. Why is this a big deal? Is there anything magical about being in that range for an entire month? No, I don't think there's anything magical about that. I'm not aware of, I'm not up to speed enough on technical analysis to be able to draw some correlation there and just say like, oh yeah, well, after one full month, you know what always happens after a full month of people being greedy, right? Because I don't know. I'm just saying we've been there for long enough that this looks normal to us, and it makes me still like, okay, what's my strategy? What's my exit strategy? Specifically, how am I going to cope with the potential for prices falling fast? Guys, just as a reminder, we are live. So your comments do come through live. I do see them. We're going to be pausing to read those as we go, and we're not filtering those, and I'm not cherry picking only comments that have paid me a super chat, unless you're a troll, because that turned out the other day, that wound up being a friend of mine who was trying to troll really hard, and I didn't respond until he super chatted. So among friends, right, an old buddy, it's like, now I'll make him pay to troll like that. If you just want to ask a question, ask a question. If you want to answer a question and you see something in the comments, go ahead and answer it, guys. We're here as a community, and this is the most fun part of the Mining Market Signals that we get to share with each other. So by all means, keep gabbing away. Let's keep the conversation rolling. But that's the full month. Jumping back a full 3 months, right? Zooming out a bit, we can see, right? The previous 2 months, we were definitely in that fear range. And that was the time, in my opinion, to be considering entry points into various different crypto projects. If you were interested in accumulating more Bitcoin, that was a great time to do so. If you were interested in taking a different position or a bigger position into Ethereum or Matic or Polkadot, or especially Solana now, and a few others that we'll see when we go to the portfolios later on, this was clearly the time because we experienced a lot of growth, and then everybody started to get greedy when they saw all those green candles, right? We're pretty simple creatures, really, humans. We see shiny things and we say, wow, that's amazing. I want to go investigate. I want more of that shiny thing. So, of course, price went up, and then everybody's spirits went up too. But let me just double check to see what our current live counter is right now. Guys, thanks so much for being here live. Please remember to give this video a thumbs up. It really does help the algorithm. And remember to share this while we're live. Having more people here while we're live helps so much. Let me shout out Jay Myers for saying yo in the comments section. The Deadwood Sin City Grower 702. I see you, buddy, and I'm down with the business. That's great. Glad to see people fighting for the cause and working to spread the good word there. Obi-Wan Dahomey, aka Beskar Batman, is in the house talking about loving the content so far. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on all things crypto. Nothing better than seeing green candles, and I can't disagree with that. Green candles are great. They're a great thing to see. Sam is in the house throwing the peace sign with a musical note as well. And some Goblin Loser I don't know is also here, guys. Thanks for being here live. Thank you for sharing the video so we have more playmates to josh with and have fun with. But looking back, guys, about 2 months of a lot of fear. We had even farther back than that. If we go, all the way out to a year, not maximum, but all the way out to a year, we created our portfolio somewhere around this range here. May 26th, we were already into the fear range. We weren't all the way down in the extreme fear range, but we were kind of bouncing between fear and extreme fear way back when we established those portfolios. And I wanted to establish those portfolios because we had seen Bitcoin fall off a cliff here, right? And a lot of projects had that sort of correlative dump or depression that every other crypto project gets when Bitcoin goes down in value. Now, does every project follow Bitcoin that faithfully, that religiously? No, not necessarily. But it's very common that most of the middle of the pack crypto projects do follow Bitcoin pretty closely. There's a pretty strong correlation. We're going to take a look at that as we see the formations in our charts, as we just take an overview of our portfolio later on. We'll see it for certain projects, much higher correlation than others. But when that does happen, it's interesting to take a look and see, okay, if everything fell off a cliff and everybody's feeling really depressed down here, which projects lost investor confidence right at that time? Bitcoin, it can occasionally lose a little bit of investor money, but it almost never loses investor confidence, so to speak, for the old guard and for the biggest whale wallets. And we'll see some evidence of that again in just a minute here. If you want to see the articles that I'm going to reference to figure out and make sense of this sentiment right here, like what caused all this, we're about to see that in just a second. You can open up those windows for yourselves and check that out. The Deadwood he's giving away the ending. I love that he mentions a project there. It's a pleasant surprise. I finally got the portfolio up and running for our proof of stake smart contracts, so I cannot wait to do those comparisons there. But guys, down here, this sort of valley of despair, this initial valley of despair right here, this is where we made our portfolio. And we did that because I wanted to prepare you to get into the right mindset, right? When you see a red light at the the intersection, I want you to be so ready to take advantage. I can't say bye, right? I want you to be so ready to take advantage that you have your foot on the gas and you are power braking, right? Like you are burning out, waiting for it to be green, right? Waiting for the right moment because you see red. When you see red candles, same thing. I want you to be prepared, game face on, ready. You know what to do. You're forming some kind of a plan. And we see that with indicators like this. When everybody else is feeling emotional and like, oh no, my Bitcoin lost all its value, you're thinking like a shark, blood in the water. You see red and you're like, yes. Your pupils, right, they narrow. And you like, you start to swim fast and right, go towards your subject or your object. You guys, too many metaphors, I know. But the point is, that's why this is so important to me. This indicator means a lot. But jumping into the news, Coinbase and Circle, they've got a little bit of good news. This is a follow-up to the article that the news that I covered a few weeks ago about how Circle wants to become a federally chartered U.S. bank or national bank. It's kind of a big deal, right? A lot of people trust USDC to be a little bit more legit because it adheres to more of the regulation as far as stablecoins go. As far as the very first de facto CBDC, it's pretty clear that Circle kind of wants to be viewed as an unofficial CBDC, like the digital dollar that everybody trusts. So yeah, for them to announce this is really good. But apparently we did that article, we did that coverage, we went over their breakdown, we took a look at their books, the little breakdown for assets that they published showing how much of their assets are in cash and how much are in other vehicles. And for my part, I was a little bit surprised. I didn't expect to see so little of it actually in cash. And I expected to see even more of it, not just in cash, but in like bank accounts or in some kind of like very hard to access cash vehicle. I just thought it would be different. And, I don't know exactly what I was expecting because I don't do that sort of thing, professionally. I don't like audit the holdings of financial institutions. So I just naively took Circle and, USDC at its word, thinking that it was like 1-to-1 backed with cash, like a literal dollar for every USDC coin. And I was just a little bit surprised when I realized that it wasn't. So here we are with them announcing this. Apparently in July, this is when we broke the news. They revealed that, yes, they're backed by dollars, but it's not all in cash. And a lot of other people gave me some pushback. I got some comments from people who do these sorts of audits and saying like, hey, this is far more complex than you're making it out to be. And I thought, it's complex enough. I'm not pretending to be some kind of like whatever Series 7 advisement guy. Like I'm not going to tell you what to do with your finances or how to prepare for retirement or whatever. And I certainly don't have the credentials to go and audit a financial institution that wants to become a federally chartered national bank. So, I can't pretend there. But it did surprise me. It did really, really surprise me that there wasn't as much cash as everybody says Circle has for USDT or USDC, whereas USDT has far less. So they kind of revealed that, and some people were up in arms and some people were just understandably confused like me because I don't really know a whole lot better, and they've got a different narrative going about having all those cash reserves. So they have them in corporate bonds, commercial paper, but the previous claims were that it's backed dollar for dollar in cash. The CEO and founder of Unstoppable Domains chimed in, which is pretty cool, but he says the USDC is the market leader for the safest and most compliant USD stablecoin. This move further solidifies that positioning. Now, if I had to venture a guess, I would say they may or may not be gearing up to accept USDC for payments to get your domains over at Unstoppable Domains, your .crypto and your .zil domains. Maybe. I don't know. So there's a reason that he's appearing here, but he's not wrong, right? He's not wrong for sure. So the one issue that I find with that is that it's almost like they published their holdings in July. They got backlash from some people, admittedly like me, who are not as savvy in this sort of thing. We just thought it was backed dollar for dollar. And then in August, they make the announcement that, sometime in September, we may start having more dollars for every single one of our USDC. We're going to try to have more of those dollars on hand so we can prove that we have a dollar for every one of those USDC. They're doing the right thing is what I'm saying, but they are doing it a little bit late. Justice delayed is justice denied. People who bought in thinking that everything was backed 1-to-1 were kind of sold a bill of goods, right? They were kind of sold a narrative. It wasn't the actual case, right? So that's a little bit disconcerting to me, at least. But anyway, they're making that right sometime in September. Rob is saying, yet they've been unclear about it. The website said one USDC is backed by $1. You should expect that they would provide more insight. You know what? I agree with that. But again, like some people tried to make me feel like I was too ignorant of the way these things actually work, like what commercial paper means or what bonds are supposed to represent when somebody says they have like literal physical cash, that I should expect that they have bonds and commercial paper. So maybe I am just like very illiterate in this space, but maybe like Rob, I just feel like if you tell me you've got a dollar, you should just have a dollar, and you shouldn't make it so complicated that I can't understand. So anyway, that's some news from Circle. And I think this does affect the rest of the market, but more indirectly. Just wanted to follow up on that previous news bit that we covered before and give you that last little update. Visa bought a CryptoPunk. And guys, why does this matter, right? Like, in my opinion, I don't know. Let me give you the article first, and I'll give you a little tiny summary. But you tell me in the comment section, why do you think it matters that Visa owns a CryptoPunk? Does that affect the speed of your transactions on the Visa network? Does it affect the value of your CryptoPunks that you own? Are you going to go get a CryptoPunk now that the price floor has gone up? You tell me in the comment section, how is Visa affecting your life personally by making this move? But here's the deal. OpenSea reported that when they made that purchase, CryptoPunk sales increased by 728% in a day. And to give you hard numbers on what that means, right? It's like, it increased by 728%. Well, how many were you selling? We were selling precisely 0.32 of them every single day, right? Right. There's only lies, damned lies, and statistics, right? You can make anything sound good depending on how you frame it. But here's what they mean by 728% increase. What they mean is that they normally sell quite a bit less than they normally are than they did before, and that increase represents hundreds of the tokens being sold, hundreds of the NFTs being sold. So kind of a big deal. Kind of a big deal. In my opinion, that's a kind of a big deal. CryptoPunks, of course, are more of a high-end pedigree project. You look at it and it's like, dude, it's a 24 by 24 pixel grid. It's not even like video game sprite art. If you're into that sort of thing, like making your own side scroller games or reskinning games for Android or, you know, or for Windows or whatever, it's not even like it requires any craft, you'd think, but it is apparently a generative NFT project, and they've got 10,000 of them, and it's OG, right? It's got that street, like Obi-Wan the homie is saying, it's got that street cred. When people see that you have a CryptoPunk, and they know that you've got an original or a rare CryptoPunk from back in the day, you can't really fake that. If you hold the keys to the wallet that holds that CryptoPunk, it's like, yeah, no, this person's been around. Unless they got that gifted to them, which is a very generous gift, they've been around, right? They did not pay. The average person did not pay 6 figures for their CryptoPunk. They got in lower, and they're getting ready to sell for 6 figures or more. It's a pretty, I mean, it's kind of cool. I'm not hating on NFTs at all. And I've got an announcement at the end of the video regarding NFTs. But point is, Visa bought one, right? And OpenSea said after they bought it, we sold hundreds more, right? Visa, they basically kicked off a run on NFTs. It's a pretty big deal, I think. But again, you guys tell me, how has it affected your life? Is your life better, worse, indifferent? How has it affected you personally? Some Goblin Loser says, still hodling BTC. Awesome. Some other comments coming in, guys. Next Era Gamer saying, what's good, people? How's it going? Nice. Good to see you, Next Era Gamer. Thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Deadwood has a little spoiler. I don't want to read that one out loud, but you guys can see it if you're in the live comments. And then Jay is saying, I have a few domains. Ooh, nice. Nice. And he says always trades into USDC. You know, I can't blame you for that. Like when I have to hold stablecoins, I often kind of default to USDC myself. Raven Boy Cryptos here as well says, hey guys, good to see you. Thanks for being here with us live. And we got Eric Anderson in the Heezy saying NFT equals Lambo. Bro, I think it's fair to use the greater than symbol in that equation, right? Because the Lambo, if you crash it, it's gone. NFT, if you crash it, like if you crash your hardware wallet, you just throw your seed phrase in a new hardware wallet and you get your Lambo back. Lambo NFTs for the win. Yeah, boy. So Visa got one. And apparently now the 7-day volume for CryptoPunks is crazy. Over 13,500 ETH, right? Almost 45 million US dollars in the cash equivalent in 7 days. That's the 7-day trading volume, guys, for CryptoPunks alone. Not all of the NFTs in the market right now, just the punks. The punks are pulling down 45 mil in 7 days. Bruh. We're all in the wrong business. Turn off your mining rigs. Go make NFTs with your mining rigs. We're becoming NFT miners now. So anyway, just saying, guys, we got to take this stuff seriously. And we could have seen some of this coming, right? It's not like people weren't talking about it. So we thought they were zealots, right? They're like, oh, you don't get it. I've got this Arabian camel and I've got the lazy girls. And maybe the artists are actually women. Wait, they're not really female, right? There's all this drama that's happening too. But man, these people are moving markets. And for some of them, they're still Bitcoin maximalists. For some of them, they're maximalists of a different stripe. And they're saying, hey, you know what? At the end of the day, end of the quarter, end of the year, end of the cycle, whatever, I'm taking profits and I'm putting it into something stable. Like in a cryptographic sense, stable, something that I can secure, something that I can hold in a sovereign way like Bitcoin, right? So I can't fault anybody for having their own strategy. Just have one, right? Don't be going in willy-nilly for sure. But there's cash moving through this system. Imagine, for example, $45 million cash being put back into Bitcoin. It's a very powerful thing. Grayscale is moving at this scale, right? At this level. NFTs are moving this level too, but they're moving in a more decentralized way. And I'm here for it, guys. I'm here to see it. Absolutely here for it. So it says CryptoPunks volume is likely to continue trending upward over the next several days, weeks. The NFT collection had 3 other massive surges. One in late July when Gary V bought a CryptoPunk, guys. So there is a bit of this, this network effect, right? This halo effect of having some large person come in and say, hey, I'm getting a CryptoPunk. We've seen this before, right? With Gary V. So Visa's doing something that Gary V already did. And then in February, a large purchase from a completely anonymous buyer, but they bought in heavy, and they got everybody to FOMO and ape into more purchases of the CryptoPunks. And then September to October of 2020, I think this is, they say for no reason or for unknown reasons. I would venture a guess that this is hot on the heels of DeFi Summer 1.0, and I think that was the beginnings, right? Those were the tastemakers and some of the degens from the first DeFi Summer who were just saying, you know what, we need a place to throw profits right now. We're doing NFTs. And I genuinely believe that some of these folks represent kind of not a pump and dump group or whatever, but they are a bit of an elite group within cryptocurrency. And I just, this is a working hunch, guys. So I'm going to try to find some validation for this. Don't go like claiming this is gospel truth or anything. Working hunch, right? Working theory right now that I'm going to try to find some evidence for. And if there isn't any, fine, we don't go for it. But September to October, that's directly following DeFi Summer 1.0, and you had people that were flush with cash and flush with ETH after getting out of DeFi Summer 1.0. I suspect that a lot of those profits went into NFTs last summer, right after all those people became flush with cash, right? Nouveau riche of crypto. But they, So May, 9 CryptoPunks were sold by Christie's, and then another one by Sotheby's for 11 million, right? It was pretty amazing. It was pretty dang amazing. And get MC in the house saying, "Sup, y'all?" And some Goblin Loser calling back. Obi-Wan the homie is saying, imagine if your Lambo paid you royalties. Oh, wait. Right? Right? Okay, so guys, that's part of our news. Last but not least, the title of this video, if you clicked in because you're like, oh my gosh, clickbait title, I don't know who this guy is, but clickbait title, maybe Bitcoin's going to go from 50K to 100K. I hate to burst your bubble. I'm going to kick off tonight's live stream with a little bit of a counter trade, right? A little bit of counter trading info, counter intel, I should say. It's not really trading info or a signal. It's just counter intel. But pro traders are not very, they're not believing that we're going to run up after 50K. And they've got some evidence, but a variety of reasons would include Will Clemente talking about accumulation from addresses containing 1,000 to 10,000 BTC, right? And this is the last couple of days. He said, funny, today, while whale holdings went up by 13,000 BTC, right? So even though the price was down, whale wallets went up, and it's all these wallets at over 1,000 BTC. So, I mean, really, these are not our friends. These are not our neighbors, certainly, depending on where you live. These aren't our neighbors who are like, you know what I really need? I need another 1,000 Bitcoin in my wallet. I mean, I need that too. But the point is, these folks already had it. So yeah, if that's any indication, they've been loading up. And you've been hearing me say this, Eric Anderson, if you're still in the comments as well, you've been saying this as well over on the Crypto and Coffee live stream or the Crypto and Coffee Clubhouse room when it's active. He's been saying this for months, that there's massive price suppression. Every time we go towards Bitcoin price discovery, what happens? Boom, we get like pushed right back down, shoved right back down. And we've lived in that channel of 30 to 40K after we broke out into the 50 to 60K for a while. The fact that it didn't go like pop way up and go parabolic above 60K and then came back down was like, oh, something's not right. This doesn't follow other market patterns that we've experienced before. And I strongly believe that it is people like this who are just saying, I've got 1,000 Bitcoin, I want 1,000 more. Or I've got 10,000 Bitcoin and I want 1,000 more. And I've got my friends here and we can actually make this happen. These folks are so much more expert at being able to manipulate these markets than I will ever be. I just don't breathe that kind of air. I'm not that, that high in the stratosphere on my, my weather balloon or whatever, or my hang glider. They can soar above us because they were born into this market that way, right? They may have already had wealth or come from means, and they know how to manipulate other markets like Forex or other trading markets, other stock markets or commodities. So these are people who have a toolkit a set of skills that, for me, I cannot even imagine having this set of skills. But here they are, right? Enriching their wallets, going from 1,000 BTC up or 10,000 BTC up. So that's point one. This is why folks like Will Clemente are not very bullish, even though we broke 50K, right? We broke resistance, but we didn't find new support at 50K necessarily, and we're not necessarily going up any higher. It looks like maybe he thinks. JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo have partnered with New York Digital Investment Group to offer Bitcoin funds for their wealth management clients. Now, I view this again as something of counterintelligence to the bulls, right? People who are saying like, well, green candle, so go up now, only up and to the right. I disagree. When I see these larger institutions, I think now they definitely want to get their last couple of shots at purchasing, right? At acquiring, accumulating lower priced Bitcoin. They're going to do what they can right now. They're going to use the tools they know how to use. And as you know, they are experts. The central bankers are experts at suppressing price and being able to acquire assets for themselves on the cheap. They've done it for real estate. They've done it for all kinds of other loans for decades, for as long as we've been alive and longer, right? These institutions have playbooks that are, first off, we don't know about them. But then secondly, they're so old as to be collecting an inch of dust, right? They know this stuff. Right? They know this stuff like the back of their hands. So when I see JP Morgan Chase jumping in, my first thought is, nope, bearish. That's not good. Just for me, guys, not financial advice. For me, these are warning bells. These are warning shots being fired over our heads. We have an opportunity to duck, and save our neck. Now, if we pay attention. But also, we saw live on this show when we took a look at the global hash rate or net hash for Bitcoin that we went from about 111 exahash all the way up to like 125-ish. They called it about 5% up, but that's just kind of, I think that was a reaction to the Chinese mining FUD and Chinese mining news, people moving out of China with their mining rigs. But here are a couple of the biggest data points. The futures premium remained stable. The futures premium was stable. It didn't go up, right? So why wouldn't it go up, right? Well, not just in a negative range, there's lack of confidence, right? You think it should go up, but it didn't. And then the options market also kind of gave a little bit of confirmation. Both futures instruments, predominantly used by whales and arbitrage desks, do not reflect the same wild optimism that crypto Twitter and retail traders displayed when Bitcoin's price breached the all-important $50,000 mark. This isn't the first time we've done it, right, guys? So the psychological level of $50,000, I know it sounds crazy. It was less than a year ago. It was less than 6 months ago. But that already feels like old news. We adapt to that sort of thing really quick. So the psychological barrier of $50,000, I don't think is what's been holding us back this time. It is really more some suppression in my best guess, right? You got some of these analysts who really know their stuff. They're saying something kind of similar, but they're giving a little bit more data, right? And giving better reasons, I think, than I can possibly give. I hope that's helpful, guys. Tell me in the comment section, though, what do you think about Bitcoin right now at its current price? Are you bullish? Are you bearish? Are you fearful? Are you greedy? How are you feeling based on the news that I just showed you, right? With some of these guys, some of these analysts and, well, the futures and the options markets doing what they've done. Does that change your mind at all? Or are you on a plan right now? Because if you're working a plan, I respect the heck out of that. If you're not, I'm just going to say, educate yourself fast, get a plan in motion, do not trade or do not hold or do not do anything without a plan. That's the only advice that I would give, is just have a plan, formulate a plan. So jumping back out of the way, here we are on txstreet.com, taking a look at our numbers for both Ethereum and Bitcoin. Looks like the average or the median gas price for Ethereum is 77.7 gwei. Good grief. Okay, Dig Deep Miner says he's bearish. Obi-Wan Dahomey says bullish for the next 4 to 6 weeks and then plan on making moves. Hey, that's not a bad idea. It could be that we do find a little bit of support in this new level. And guys, I'm not trying to say anything at all like that. But here's the thing. Obi-Wan's got a plan. He's got a plan here. Just articulated it. 4 to 6 weeks for Obi-Wan. So that's the plan that Obi-Wan is working. So good on you. But our current median gas price, there you go, 80 gwei. It's going up right in front of our eyes. And Anonymous Miner is in the house saying, mind your biz. What it do, baby? We're just taking a look at these gas fees. Gas is too damn high. Okay, I'm just kidding. We get paid for that. It's totally like keep on going up, really, for real. All right, so as miners, guys, of course, it's mixed emotions, right? We don't like using Ethereum when it's like this. But we sure like mining Ethereum when it's like this. So, on the one hand, boo. On the other hand, never stopping gas price. Just keep on going up. But current block, 76 gwei. If you're tuning in, you're kind of a lurker and you're wondering, hey, what the heck is this show all about? What are we even doing? Like, what are we talking about? Why is this guy shouting? And what's with the fake beard? Well, the fake beard, I hate to tell you, doesn't come off. I glued it on a little bit too strongly. But this show, right now, we're looking at txstreet.com. All the tools that I'm showing you and all of the articles that I'm showing you, there are links to down in the description of this video for your convenience, so you can take a look at them later on. Right now, we're just taking a look to see what the cost of using Bitcoin and Ethereum is. For most of us in the audience, we're GPU miners. And if we're not GPU miners, we're maybe considering it, and that's why we're kind of taking a look at this. Or we're just kind of holistically looking at the market from a 360-degree view, not just people who may want to hold some cryptocurrency, but people who may want to mine and hold, or mine and trade, and try to make better choices in all those categories. So right now, one of the tools we use is TxStreet, and it tells us that the current median ETH transfer fee, this is just the price to transfer Ethereum from one wallet to another, or the Ether, ETH token from one wallet to another, $5.70. No, it's not 57. That's cool. But it's like the FN 57. That's an underrated round there, if you know your ballistics. But it changed real time. But $5.68. The median ETH contract fee, and this is different because this would be like setting up a smart contract for purchasing an NFT, or for transferring an NFT, or for enabling a more complex smart contract that enabled some staking for you on a given coin network or given ERC20, or minting your own smart contract for issuing a new ERC20, or minting your own NFT directly on chain, not using a platform that allowed you to do lazy minting. That's what this fee refers to. And sometimes even just sending an ERC20 token has to hit that smart contract and triggers this full fee. MC gets it. He's in the comment section. He gets it. Greg Moravik is in the comments as well. He is alive, guys. Congratulate Greg. He's with us. He has not shuffled off his mortal coil. He's not joined his ancestors yet. No Valhalla today for Greg. He's here with us. Sorry, buddy. Sorry. Best is yet to come, though. Promise you that. All right, so guys, that's Ethereum right now. If you're not familiar with this, also, you see all these little like South Park looking people jumping into buses. This sort of represents real time. And by the way, all these characters represent real world transactions. See that? That's a real world transaction. I just clicked on this little homie, and that's the hash, and that'll open up Etherscan if I click on it, from this wallet to that wallet, or smart contracts. That's pretty cool, right? But all of these are real world transactions finding their way into the blockchain real time to be written into a new block. And if you see them jump out of the bus and jump backwards, that's because the user inside of MetaMask has set some kind of a gas limit that for them they're saying, I'm not going to pay more than X GUI. And so when they get to this point, if that block, the gas fee goes up because everybody else is agreeing to pay a lot more, well, those transactions have to jump back to a different bus or block. So if you're curious about this, it's really fun. The more you click on it, the more you'll learn. Here's Uniswap. There you go. See that? It goes into exploded view, and we see roughly what all the transactions have been on Uniswap, or the Uniswap protocol, not necessarily just Uniswap, the application. And then same with SushiSwap and all of these others. There's OpenSea as well, which is getting a lot of love right now. There's OpenSea, I think via Rarible, I believe. Nope, that may be, now that is a different symbol they have there. But the point is they've got Rarible here as well down below. So we see our NFTs being minted on chain real time here on txstreet.com. It's a beautiful tool, and it's just so much fun, right? The low fee line here, we can't quite click on this mass of people, but we can find people or transactions that are coming up forward or advancing from previous blocks. Oh, come here. Got him. There's one right there. Gas price willing to pay 62 GUI, and we can see real time how this is all working there. I mean, isn't it a great tool, guys? Great tool. And we got Sandor asking, would Monero show? And that's a great question, because txstreet.com does show the Monero network. We can take a look at that in just a second. Let's first evaluate the Bitcoin network and see how transactions are moving there. Compare and contrast just a little bit. Let me move the stats up so those are easier to view, and scroll up. You see these are kind of trickling in because of the much slower transaction per second rate of Bitcoin versus Ethereum. Now, it's not that Ethereum is the fastest thing in the world. It's really not the fastest thing in the world, but by comparison to Bitcoin, it's got wings, bro. It's got wings. The median fee on Bitcoin right now is 26 cents. Ooh, median fee in Satoshis per VByte is 3. Guys, without giving you any kind of advice or telling you what to do, when fees are this low, we haven't seen them this low on Bitcoin for a little while. When they're this low or lower, and then if you set a very low fee rate that you're willing to pay, very similarly to how you see these being reorganized here over on Ethereum, you can actually kind of do the same on Bitcoin. You can tell the Bitcoin mining network, the full net hash of Bitcoin, that you're only willing to pay a certain fee, a certain amount for your transaction. Manually set that fee, and then your transaction will go into a later bus. It'll take some time until you see something that's like 1 Satoshi per VByte, or the fee that you're willing to pay, and you can make your transactions go through more slowly in exchange for a cheaper transaction. The reason I'm excited by this right now is because this indicates that even at typical fees, relatively fast transaction speed, you could use some kind of a coin join implementation like on Samurai Wallet. Guys, I cannot recommend Samurai Wallet enough. It's a great Bitcoin wallet, and it adds a bit of privacy back into Bitcoin. You can only use it when fees are cheap, though, on Bitcoin. Otherwise, you wait a long time and you stand the risk of potentially having a transaction stuck in the mempool, kind of like very stuck in the mempool. So great time for Bitcoin transactions. But that question about Monero, it is here, and we're going to go ahead and load that up. Just take a look. Hey, we got William Sullivan asking, hey, what's up, guys? What did I miss? We've been talking a little bit about this. Here's the great thing here's Monero, see? They look like little angels. You can't tell where they're coming from. Isabella says, yeah, there you go. Is that you're an angel, or is that a ring signature on your head? Why do we all look the same? We represent Monero's fungibility and privacy. That bus will automatically get larger in the future when the street gets busy. Monero has a dynamic block size limit. Kind of a cool thing that the other two networks we've been looking at don't have right now anyway. Bitcoin, I think, once had that built into its architecture or roadmap, but not anymore. So there they are, ring signatures, kind of pulling them all in. They all look like Isabella. It's so cute. All right, but there we go. Median fee is 4/10 of a penny. 4/10 of a penny on Monero right now. Median fee is, these are nanoneros, and that's not the same as piconeros, but that's the atomic unit of Monero. It's a little bit confusing, guys, because all of these different coins have their own different names, right? On Bitcoin, we've got Satoshis. On Ethereum, we've got micro ETH, looks like meth. It's very strange, guys. It's very strange. But in Monero, we've got piconeros and nanoneros and others, right? So just so you know, and I think is there Decinero? I don't think so. I'm familiar with piconeros, though. I think the smallest possible unit of a Monero is, or a Moneroge is a piconero. They've got their own language, it seems like, with every single coin. Bottom line is, though, you see all these different coins go in, and we can try to click on one of those coins or one of those transactions. Oh, come on. Get it this time. One of those transactions as it comes into Monero. All right, come here, Isabella, looking. Oh, there we got her. And this one, onboarding bus hash, is this, but we don't see the origin address and we don't see the destination address. We only see the size of the transaction, the fee that was paid, the total fee that was paid, and then the hash for that transaction, which can bring us to a block explorer, but it doesn't really tell us a whole lot about that transaction. See, here we are on monerovision.com. This is the transaction we just saw boarding the bus. And this is everything that we know about it, a couple of inputs, and then various outputs, including a stealth address and some other basically dummy outputs. We are not supposed to know exactly which one is the correct output for the intended transaction. It may be one of these, and we just won't know which one it is. Monero is extremely private by default because of that. It uses more obfuscation, right? Think of it like maybe a little bit more like a shell game than like using zero knowledge cryptographic proofs in order to create the privacy. But it works very well, right? It works very, very well. It'd be like if all you used was cash every single time you got a paycheck and you cashed out your paycheck, right? If you always had, like without breaking any laws, if you always had $30,000 cash at home, sort of revolving, and your paycheck was always cashed out, like, 5, 10 grand at a time or whatever it is you earn every 2 weeks. You just cash that out into cash and used like Dave Ramsey's cash envelope system or something. And all you had was cash. it would be a heck of a lot harder for your bank to start figuring out which bank you got it from, because you could go cash your check while you're out of state. You can go cash your check while you're out of town. You can go change your bills at a grocery store, not a grocery store, but at some other check cashing place. You could do so much more with those bills that even though they're marked and serialized and part of a sort of a transactional system that's supposed to track cash even, you'd have a lot more privacy, and they wouldn't necessarily know that they were yours, if that makes sense, right? Using cash in the real world. That's what I love about Monero. Monero functions like digital cash. It's kind of funny that there were projects that had the nickname digital cash that wound up not being private at all, basically. But Monero is private by default. Is it perfect by default? No, it's not perfect by default. And not even the developers pretend that it is. Just saying. But it is private by default. So guys, that's our current fee structure right now. It looks like fees have gone down just a little bit for contract fee on Ethereum, and that's pretty great. But let's take a look at fiatleak.com. Oh, come on. Nope. Don't want to do that. Not going to register. Not today. Not today. Ethereum at $4.5 billion right now. It's in the lead right now. Cardano right behind it. A lot of folks are getting really excited about Cardano. Guys, you tell me. Comment section. Let's have at it. Cardano. Are you excited? If so, why? Do you think they're going to deliver? Do you think these smart cracks? It's Cardano slinging cracks. Smart contracts, it is. So do you think these smart contracts are going to hit the streets? Now everything's going to be a drugs joke. Are these smart contracts going to hit the streets at full strength? Or are they going to cut that stuff? They're going to cut it with like baking soda. Anyway, just wondering, what do you think about Cardano? Is this really happening? Do you think people have reason to be so excited, so exuberant about Cardano right now? Because clearly there's a lot of purchase volume right now with Cardano. But let's take a look at our top two. Bitcoin first, right? So take a look at Bitcoin. Current price is $49,205. That's not a bad price for Bitcoin. It's really not bad at all. Taking a look at this right now, trading at about $240 plus per minute. Nope, those are transactions. What am I talking about? That's transactions per minute right now in terms of trades on exchange. Clearly, Bitcoin can't sustain this. So what we're seeing here is transactions on exchange. These are paper trades happening right now, being fed to Fiat Leak through APIs. Right? This is not on-chain data, just for the record. All right, so and Obi-Wan Nahomi says ADA is a good long-term hodl, in his opinion. And Byron says, I'm not excited about non-mineable coins. You know, I can't argue with that logic. Right now, mineable coins, they seem to be highly correlated to Bitcoin, and they seem to be extremely safe in that regard. So they don't have the same volatility. I mean, by the same token, get it, crypto show, I said token. If you don't get speculative in some of the other coins, sometimes we leave some profit on the table. But I think there's a lot more stability in what you're saying there, sticking with mineable coins, for sure. And still plenty of upside too, right? Like, who's complaining? Gosh, guys, we get so spoiled in this space. It's like, did my coin give me 1,000x yet? No, sorry, it only gave you 10x. Sorry, really, sorry. What did your house do in the last 7 years, bucko? Not 10x. It's crazy. Just absolutely. I mean, again, we're so spoiled, literally so blessed. Anyway, that's Bitcoin right now. Got a lot of US dollars going into it. This is exactly backwards, right? Korean won is flying out of people's wallets. We've got, what is this? Ukrainian hryvnia. Yep. So we've got our former Eastern Bloc countries. Brazilian real is in the mix, not to be left out. Japanese yen as well. So many countries just pouring dollars into Bitcoin. There's the euro. I think we've got also, the Thai baht. So definitely Southeast Asia is in the mix. Or maybe that was, the Turkish lira. So guys, it still looks like everybody in the world is pretty excited. Pretty darn excited. Sandor is saying, let's see, meant Cardano to be launched on the 25th of August and get listed in Japan. You know, news for a new exchange listing in a new territory is a pretty big deal. Pretty big news. So even if you're not a big believer, worth taking a look at. That's important news to be paying attention to, like what Sandor is saying there. And let's see. Some Goblin Loser says, I think you can mine it though. Yeah? Well, you can mine and trade for it for sure with Cardano. Let's see. But yeah, guys, that's Bitcoin right now. So much happening. Even the Canucks are in, right? But this is just paying attention to what is being used on exchange right now. This doesn't necessarily represent what people are paying for OTC Bitcoin, right? They could be paying all of these currencies and more, right? You could have all the old like defunct Iraqi dinar that just like went down the toilet after Desert Storm. There's just, you know, a bunch of that old paper that's good for nothing. I don't know if anyone's trading that for Bitcoin right now. But let's go into our Ethereum overview on fiatleak.com and take a look at what's happening in Ethereum land. Over $3,300, just barely, right? Just barely over that $3,300 mark, but you love to see it. US dollars are pouring in. Also, not a shock. Not one bit. I see a lot of BitMEX on this list. You guys seen that too? Maybe it's going by a bit fast there. But BitMEX is representing. BitMEX is pushing a lot through there. Korean won. Dang, that is fast. That's high frequency there, just like the US dollar. It looks like US dollar and Korean won are right now, as far as the API data that's coming into fiatleak.com, they're pretty much speaking for all of the fiat that's pouring into Ethereum at the moment. It could be that there are plenty of other trades that are just not reporting right now on fiatleak.com. Again, it is, you know, it's a fun representation, visual representation of the network, but it's not on-chain data like TX Street, where we know for sure that it correlates to something real world that's happening in the blockchain space. So, yeah, a little bit funny there. Rob says it's wash trading live. He's not wrong, man. That's the thing. He's not. It's if they're on exchanges, it's happening, right? Like, it's happening every day and 24 hours a day at that, right? Bitcoin and cryptocurrency trading never sleeps, not on exchange and not on chain. So yeah, it's crazy. There we go. Now we got some Turkish lira. Now we got some euro coming into the mix, and we should see euro coming into the mix. Thai baht as well. Could just be that the APIs are taking a minute to warm up and kind of warm up a representation for us on this particular instance. I don't know how they work with their APIs for exchange, if they're doing that per user, if they've got their own like little aggregate database, which I'm sure they have to have. Anyway, there's Aussie dollar. Hey, Aussies, please get you some crypto and some freedom and some privacy again. Really, guys, pray for Australia. I can't talk about it, right? I can't say it out loud, but yeah, maybe crypto will help. Maybe. Let's hope. Anyway, we got, what is this over here? Malaysian ringgit. That's so cool that the Malaysian currency is called the ringgit. Doesn't that already sound like a cryptocurrency? It's like, what currency do you use in your country? The ringgit. Is that like Bitcoin? No, it's nothing like Bitcoin. It's a little plastic, picture of our president that's been dead for 50 years. But it sounds like Bitcoin, doesn't it? Yeah, the ringgit. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here all night talking to you about Malay currency. All right, whattomine.com. Let's start with the top of the list. Go with a 3090 or 2080 Ti, 1660S, 1080 Ti. These are the top performers in Team Green, and 50% of the hash rate and the profit is going to go, of course, to the 3090. We use 14-cent power in this household, and we like it, young man. Just because that's the national average. So if you get 12-cent power, great. If you get 10-cent power, even better. If you get 8-cent power, you're doing awesome, but we'll talk about that in a minute. We have a volume filter of daily trading of 5 Bitcoin. I strongly believe that if you don't have that much liquidity in a given coin, then a show like this would be covering these coins irresponsibly. We would be sending you to your doom, right? Telling you like, hey, you can definitely mine these coins and you can probably even sell them and maybe able to pay for your power. If there's not that much trading volume, then we'll cause damage, even just a group of people this size. So I think 5 BTC of daily trading volume it's a good way to go. Oh, hey, yeah, I got a new mouse, by the way. Little, gosh, what is this? Oh, what's it called? The MX Master 3. So it's got that little thumb wheel here. So I keep on scrolling sideways by accident, but man, does my wrist feel good. So much more comfy. Definitely like this mouse. But let's start at the very top. Calculate with those figures in place. Our averages for profit and for difficulty are 7 days. Ergo is back in the lead. Dang, $16.30. Ethereum is down a little bit since the last time we did our live stream at $15.67. Firo is number 3, which is cool to see. $14.45, and Ravencoin rounding it out at number 4, $13.15. Ethereum Classic is there as well, but it's almost below the $12 mark, almost at the $11 mark, which is not great compared to our other options. But Ergo, man, taking us by storm. If you don't need to sell, these look a lot more close than if you do, right? 1852, 1826. You're a hair's breadth from the same daily revenue for each of these. So you figure out what's best for you. Firo, of course, if you're not selling over $17. Not a bad proposition there either. Let's go to the value and efficiency cards. We'll start with the 3060 Ti, not the 2080 Ti, the 2060, the 1660, and then the 1060. We're taking for granted these are all at least 4 gigs of memory, or I'm sorry, at least 6 gigs of memory, so that we can mine Ethereum. And going to the list, it's Ergo and Firo in number 1 and number 2 respectively. But it looks like Ethereum is in number 3 with higher profit for the day, but maybe not more consistent profit on the 7-day outlook for mining it. That's a bit of a shock. I was not expecting to see that. And of course, if you don't need to sell, then Ethereum and Firo are basically neck and neck, and Ergo is still ahead of them by about $1 if you don't need to sell at all. Ravencoin is in number 4, dead last for our finishers, basically. The Ethereum Classic is way down below. The Ravencoin is at $7.74 and just under 10 if you don't need to sell. That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. But yeah, guys, I didn't think I'd see that. Ergo and Firo displacing Ethereum for the daily profitability, or for the ongoing profitability. Take note, it doesn't last forever. And there are talks of the Ethereum core devs of interfering with payment for miners yet again. They do not like miners. They've made no secret of it, but that could be why we're seeing what we're seeing. I don't know. Stay tuned, I guess. Here we are moving from Team Green, though, into Team Red. Our 6800 XT and our 5600 XT. Look at the composite score there with 60% of the hash rate and profit going to the 6000 series part. Keep all the rest of the numbers the same and calculate for profit. Ethereum back in the lead. Profit 718. Ravencoin profit 625. Ergo 643. So actually a little bit higher, but not as high in the stacked ranking because of ongoing profitability. Ethereum Classic, just over $5. Not bad, but split between 2 cards, so not great. But Ethereum, very safe choice to make there. Moving from the newer architecture, let's go to the Radeon 7. This would technically be a Vega series part, or a Vega architecture part with HBM2 memory, and it always gives us just a really great result here. There it is, Ergo, $8.24. Ethereum all the way down to $6.50. Very clear bias towards Ergo on this one. And I don't even, I made no secret of it. I'm not even a really big fan of Ergo. But if these are the numbers and I were only mining on Radeon 7 cards right now, I'd have a hard time justifying mining Ethereum when I can earn so much more on Ergo. You tell me. Are you thinking the same way? Would you be more willing to mine Ergo and then just sell for some other coin you feel more strongly about, or maybe even hold it? What do you think? Is it worth holding Ergo at this point? Tell me in the comments, guys. Ethereum Classic, $4.65, and then Ravencoin way down below $4 at $3.57. Not a great position for Ravencoin right now. Gonna come up with a song next couple of months. It'll be almost like Forgot About Dre, but it'll be Forgot About Raven, because that's what we're doing right now. Actively forgetting about it. Wah. All right, so going from the Radeon 7 down to the Vega 56, also HBM2 card. First generation Vega Core or GPU, right? For that GPU. Ergo also number 1, $5.37. Ethereum at $3.21. Guys, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Over $2 profit more per day. I mean, done, right? Period. End of story. That's all she wrote. Ravencoin at $2.43, so almost another full dollar off there. Ethereum Classic, $2.23. Guys, it's so hard to take anything but Ergo seriously for a Vega architecture card right now. Can't believe I'm seeing that. Can't believe I'm saying that, but here we are. William says, got a question. Anyone else seeing more invalid shares lately since EIP 1559? I've noticed this, but nothing has changed on my rig. I'm noticing I have more downtime on one of my rigs. So maybe it is from invalid shares. Maybe it is from some other like problematic like parameter that comes back and is causing my system to hang. But I keep my rig on Hive and I keep it up to date and I keep it secure. So I don't know why. I am finding a lot more downtime with my rig though that's on Hive and that is mining Ethereum. But you guys give William some feedback there. You guys noticing any bad shares or more invalid shares coming back since EIP 1559? Vega 56, guys, I'm surprised by that. Polaris 8 gig. So this is an ancient card. You guys always hear me basically talk crap about it. It's where we get back into the Ethereum being most profitable territory. Yep, $1.92 all day with Ethereum, $1.88 on Ergo. So if you're feeling strong on Ergo, if you got a bunch of different AMD cards that mostly feature Vega cores, you might consider putting everything on Ergo, because you're not going to miss out too much on having these cards mining Ergo as well, giving you higher net hash and helping you bring home more daily profit on that one coin. So you only have to do one trade if you're going to trade out, or you only have to worry about one wallet if you're going to hold. Ravencoin is at $1.33. Not bad. Really not bad for Ravencoin on that architecture, but there's a caveat there, right? On that architecture and that coin. Ethereum Classic, 131. That's our 8 gig Polaris card. Our 4 gig Polaris card, which we need to shift into 30.5 mega hashes before we get our numbers. It is going to give us Ergo. What? Well, oh, I guess that should make sense, right? It was more profitable before as well. $1.76 on that 4 gig card, just punching Ravencoin in the face by 40 cents every single day, roughly. 39 cents, but who's counting? Ethereum Classic, $1.34. So Ergo, again, is the obvious choice for these 4 gig cards. Let's jump into our R9 series cards. R9 Fury, pretty good performer on Ethereum for its generation of card. First generation HBM memory, so not HBM2. And an older architecture that's from the R9 series, some of the, I think, Hawaiian Islands. Ravencoin is at $1.48. Whoa! That's a lot of money, guys. It's a lot of money for that old card. Ergo is at $1.43. So apparently the hashing strength on that older R9 Fury is still in favor of the Ravencoin. Ethereum Classic only at 92 cents. So pretty obvious choice there. And again, if you're not selling, Ravencoin is almost $2.50 on that particular card. So maybe these are really old cards that you have on a workstation at work or in an old gaming cafe or something. And I don't know, maybe whatever your situation is, if you're mining with free power on these cards, you're a happy camper right now. They're earning more than maybe they earned at their peak back in the day. I don't know, maybe. But that's the R9 Fury. R9 380. Let's move into R9 380. And it shows Ergo at 88 cents per day. Not bad. Ethereum Classic at 58 cents. And then Ravencoin at 30 cents. Guys, it looks like Ergo is really, it's almost a clean sweep for a couple of different architectures where it just doesn't make sense to mine anything else other than Ergo right now. Guys, again, sound off. Let me know what you think about Ergo right now. And if I'm walking around a lot, if I'm stepping around a lot, guys, I apologize. I'm at a standing desk now, so shout out to Son of a Tech. Definitely inspired me to get on my feet and get out of the chair. I was really uncomfortable in the chair all the time. Like literally would get like low back pain and like my butt would hurt. I mean, like actually get aches in like the hip capsule and feel like an old man when I got up. Like, oh, I need a cane. It's just like, what? I never felt that way in my life. I've always been far more active than this. So I'm using a standing desk and also using one of those anti-fatigue mats to kind of step on so I don't have to wear shoes. It's amazing. I'm basically a yogi now. I basically do yoga. That's what I'm saying. Yoga for an hour and a half straight while we live stream. We're changing themes for the show. Got Alpha saying, great live. You guys, the real ones. Hey, appreciate that. Throws up the peace sign right back at you, brother. But let's jump back into our content here. That's what to mine. That's what's profitable now. Let's go to Brains. Take a look at our Antminer S9 to see how much it costs to mine one full Bitcoin. If we're on 17-cent power, we're barely breaking even. If we're on 14-cent power right now, like we were mining with GPUs before at home, we're getting one full Bitcoin for $36,500, roughly $36,500. I'm not super happy with that. We noticed right now that yes, we broke through $50,000 Bitcoin, but we haven't necessarily found new support at $50,000. Anything can happen. I'm not going to pretend to know which way the market's going, but if it does come back down, could it come back down below $36,000? I don't know. Maybe it could. It did before. It might again before it has another big leg up. And I don't know what the likelihood of that is. But it makes me uncomfortable to mine one full Bitcoin at $36,000. As stuck up as that sounds, Let's take a look at a different scenario, right? 8-cent power. And we do this basically every time we live stream, guys. We take a look at 8-cent power, and I promise you, you can find it now with that ancient Antminer S9. You're mining 1 full Bitcoin for $21,500 instead. That's a far better deal in my book for 1 full Bitcoin. Now, is it possible that it can dip below $20,000? I don't know, maybe. I'm not going to say what is or isn't possible in terms of support for Bitcoin, but I'm a lot more comfortable getting 1 full Bitcoin for closer to 20,000 than I am, closer to 35. Put it that way. But that's 8-cent power. I'm going to leave it at that, guys. Move over to our micro BT What's Miner M20S and All right, we got some comments coming in here too, guys. Let me just get through this last one here. With this M20S, we're looking at the same rate, 8-cent power, about $12,500 Bitcoin. So clearly a much better deal. And even if you went residential with it, 14 cent per kilowatt hour power, you're back at that $21,500 mark for acquiring your Bitcoin. So you could even mine at home and be profitable with newer hardware. With Bitcoin mining, it really is about efficiency and about the cost for your power. We got some comments coming in. Let me catch up just a little bit. David says, what card would you recommend starting and availability? Oof. Guys, I apologize. I don't do that on this show. I've got some links down in the description of this video that will bring you to Amazon so you can get a sense for what pricing is. It does help the channel if you click those links to discover what the prices are. But I have not been recommending that anybody look for cards right now. They're quite pricey, and they're going to be a lot harder to pay off if we have any kind of a negative price action in the mining markets. Guys, it would be very irresponsible for me to encourage you to buy GPUs right now, or ASICs for that matter. So I don't want to be that guy who's like, yeah, buy this stuff, buy motherboards, buy hard drives, like whatever. Yeah, I'm not comfortable doing that. But yeah, you can take a look at some of the top performing cards based on the links that are down in the description of the video. But I'd say be very cautious when it comes to buying. Always check Facebook Marketplace or any local marketplaces first. See if there's any kind of old gaming hardware that you or a family member has already that you can just get to work. That might be the best way to start right now. But just real talk, I would be very cautious about buying anything. Some Goblin says, not like the exercising squat, but the Slav squat. Or the old poop squat. It really helps the pelvis, lower back, leg joints. At least in my experience. Yeah, so guys, I do a lot. I do a lot of mobility and movement. And I don't lift weights as often as I used to. I used to just basically go every day and whatever, get myself up to like bodybuilder levels. And I just don't do that all the time. It doesn't feed me, so to speak. I like being active, but I don't always like being muscle bound. I sometimes like just doing like kettlebell drills and working on the heavy bag and just kind of having a more fun workout, or just taking a really long walk with the dog, right? Walking and running with the dog. So just whatever it takes to get it done. Anyway, that's the way I am now. Zotrack says Bitcoin difficulty hasn't merely recovered from China ban in May yet. It means a bunch of ASICs are still unused, waiting somewhere. Good point. Yeah, good point. And BTC difficulty was 25 at top in May. Now it's just at 15 and a half. Yeah, that's good. The Bitcoin difficulty is down low. But again, guys, I'd be very cautious about getting any equipment for Bitcoin or any other, like Ethereum or any other mining for that matter. Be very, very cautious indeed, unless you already have some kind of gear. All right, guys. Well, I think I'm caught up there. Sandor says, I need to put my laptop on an Amazon box or something. Back is killing me. Yeah, guys. So straight up, I've got the tray for my keyboard that I never have underneath the desk because that gets in the way of my knees. Ergonomically, it's not a very good height. I just set it up on top of some other properly sized boxes, and now that's like my new desk elevation. I'll get an adjustable desk at some point, but for right now, it's like, why? Hillbilly Engineering gets you 90% of the way there at like 100% discount. I don't get it. Sorry, guys. I'm too MacGyver for this world. I love duct tape. I love WD-40, and I will use them till the day I die. All right, jumping out of the way here, guys. That's our cost to mine 1 full Bitcoin. Take a quick look at our mining pools right now. Looks like the network hash rate for Bitcoin is, dang, no, it went up considerably. Net hash is all the way up to 174 exahash. We are seeing more miners come online, and it could be because of that decreased difficulty. I really appreciate that call out by Zotrack. Difficulty is low, and it won't adjust for a little while longer, but the hash rate is so much higher that's why we're seeing, I think, those rewards kind of even out, right? Like you can have difficulty high, hash rate low, and when you jump in, you get more rewards. You can have difficulty low and hash rate goes high, and again, same thing. They kind of cancel each other out, right? Kind of a bummer there. Some goblin loser says, lol, did Mind Your Biz just say he likes right to repair without saying he likes right to repair? Maybe. We'll just say more of my phones have like user removable batteries than do not. I miss those days, man. Straight up. Galaxy S5, Note 4. Gosh darn it. Samsung, just bring back user replaceable batteries. Stop encasing everything in glass and metal. Apple, you too. Not that you guys ever did let people replace their batteries. Just crazy to me. Like, why? Why would you? Why? It's nuts. Open hardware, open software, open all the things. But guys, Bitcoin, clearly the network hash rate has gone up significantly. Last time we checked in, it was 50 full exahash lower. This is huge. So that explains some of our price. Right, so Barry he's calling it out. Bitcoin difficulty resets every 2 weeks, and I apologize. I don't know where we are in the cycle, so I don't know if it's going to be within a couple of days, or if we're at the beginning end of that 2 week cycle for difficulty adjustment. I'm not totally familiar with where the difficulty adjustment cycle is right now, but the network hash rate is clearly a lot higher. So I suspect that this is just some shadow inventory of people like so-called pulse mining, right? They're going to screw the pooch, right, for the next difficulty adjustment, but they can take those 50 exahash offline if they really had to. Take those 50 exahash offline and then just wait for it to adjust down lower again. Maybe they won't have to, though. Maybe they'll be fine after it adjusts whenever that difficulty adjustment goes back up from 15. But guys, that's Bitcoin right now. That was interesting, definitely, to track that one little data point right there. Let's take a look at some of our portfolios. Got a little bit of a spoiler there, though. You guys can see the leaderboard on the proof of stake. And Zotrack gives us some great info here. Says mempool.space says we're at 77.18% of current era. That's great. I'm going to take a look at that right now. So mempool, watch, it's going to totally be some nasty, not safe for work site. Thanks, Zotrack. Thanks. But right here, mempool.space, shows it. Let me see if I can get us caught up real fast. Yep, there we go. So there's the current era. That's the difficulty adjustment right now. We're about 3/4 of the way through. So gosh, yeah, another 3-4 days, and then we are out. No, actually, it'll be more like 2 to 3 days. Not quite 3, beyond 3 full days there, or not 3.5 even. But yeah, a few more days of that really great low difficulty. But with that ultra high hash rate, I think it's definitely going to adjust. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see an adjustment there. Crazy though, crazy to see. Great tool there, by the way. Definitely appreciate the call out. So Zotrack is saying an estimated adjustment of plus 14.2. Yikes. Yeah, that's going to be rough. It's going to be really rough. It's going to slap the Bitcoin mining scene pretty hard, I think. But great call out there. Let's take a look at our portfolios, guys. GPU mineable coins. Ravencoin is still in the lead. It's up by 78%. Gary Jerry is asking about BTG. Just want to make sure that's called out. We are a live show. So you guys let Gary know what you think of BTG in the comment section. If you're not familiar with it, it's Bitcoin Gold. It was a fork of Bitcoin that was intended to be GPU mineable. They started with Equihash as a mining algorithm. When Equihash fell to ASICs, like the one that Bitmain made and that others have made, they did, to their credit, fork over to a variant of Equihash that kept it GPU mineable. Some people still GPU mine it. I don't. I haven't for a long time. I hold no ill will towards the project, but I don't see strong fundamentals for it. I've always struggled to see its purpose, but you guys might. Maybe you've made money from it. You tell Gary what you think of Bitcoin Gold, BTG. And let's jump back into our portfolio here. Ravencoin and Ergo are top winners. They're ahead of Ethereum, but even Ethereum is ahead of where it was when we created this portfolio. And if you guys aren't familiar with this part of the show, this segment, we created a paper portfolio. We created a paper trade of $1,000 of every single one of the assets you're about to see on May 26th of this year at 5:30 p.m. local time. That's kind of big because it means we can track how crypto moved from the time that sentiment really dropped here We're coming full circle from the beginning of the show. When sentiment dropped here after all the prices fell, we checked to see if you put $1,000 into various different coins at this time when crypto was at its lowest, not when it was at its highest, when it was at its lowest. If you had $1,000 put into all these different coins here, what would your life be like now? Or what would your portfolio be like now? Let's not ask about life, right, guys? There's a lot more to life than your crypto portfolio. Clearly. But I mean, let's be real. Your crypto portfolio being healthy would help your life. So let's take a look. Ravencoin, top of the list. Ergo, second. Ethereum, still doing great, but it's barely over that $1,000 mark, right? By 37%, which is not bad, but we expected more in the midst of a bull run. Let's take a look to see what dips into the negative. The dividing line is all the way down at Flux. Even Flux is in the black right now. That's great to see. But Flux, Ethereum Classic, Firo, Etho, Polygon, which was not in the black yet, Ryo and Wrapped Bitcoin, and then various representations of Ethereum, including Wrapped Ethereum, over $1,000. But everything else is in the red, starting with Beam. Our biggest loser is still Haven. It's still below $5. I still believe it's a bit undervalued. I'm still not telling you to buy it, but I think it's interesting that it's still in that last place. I don't think it will stay there forever, but it is in last place right now. Its market cap is still healthy and its coin price is still in whole dollars. Guys, it was not even in whole dollars when I first covered it. It wasn't even in full cents. It was barely in Satoshis when I first covered Haven. It was barely in dozens of cents when I covered it the second time and they restructured their developer team. It's a project that just doesn't seem to want to die. So that's why I keep mentioning it. They've got a lot of resilience and they keep on fighting through a lot of serious technical struggles and overcoming technical problems. So I think it's worth a shout out for that reason. But yeah, they're still in last place there. And Barry is saying, my spec coin is Raptorium, CPU mining low cap. Yeah, it's been in our portfolio from day one, sir. Let's take a look at hard drive mineable coins. Made Safe is still at the top of the list. Let me jump back though real fast. Take a look at our performance, our stats for the portfolio. 24-hour change in GPU mineable coins is plus 2% or over 2%. And then since we started it, we're finally in the black, guys. Plus 6.5%. That's great. Go GPU mining. Guys, I knew we could do it. In the end, GPU mining coins, they seem to win. They think this is good. Hard drive mineable coins, total portfolio is down almost 0.75% in 24 hours and still down by almost 0.5% in total since we made it. So total P&L is down. Made Safe coin is still carrying it. It's the very top of the pack, but the dividing line for $1,000 that we put in is all the way down to Sia coin now, or Sia coin. There you go. Signum and Chia are our only coins that are in the red, but Chia is still below even $280. It's not even just below $300. It's below $280 and barely maintaining the $250 price point. So it's almost still down by 70%. It's a bummer, but it's not out, right? It's not going anywhere. I still strongly suspect the developer team here is going to try to put in some hard work again to pull this back up, but it might not be a function of market cap. It really does just need to find its groove now. They have investor money, they have early participant money, and they've got plenty of reasons to continue to develop, right? They've got tens of millions of reasons to continue to develop that project. I don't see it going away, but the price going up parabolic, I don't know about that either. Okay, so I got a question from David asking, what is Made Safe usage? Yeah, it's a great question. What is it actually used for? Let's pop open another window here on CoinGecko. First off, it's 56 cents per coin with daily volume of almost $250,000, which is pretty cool to see. So you can definitely move it if you need to. Well, the price is coming down right now. Let's see the website and stats. Right now, there we go. Briefly, what are they claiming? Builders of the Safe Network, small team of thinkers, inventors, tinkerers, engineers, and designers started by Scottish engineer David Irvine in 2006. What? Okay. Okay. But why crypto? Really? All right. Based in Scotland, Made Safe have drawn talents from many cultures, countries. Despite the variety, we all share a mission. I just kind of feel like I should say it in a Scottish brogue. No, I won't. That's too offensive. Everybody hates me already. So I'll do it anyway. This has been our unwavering ambition since we started on this journey in 2006, and it remains our driving force today. What? Autonomous and decentralized data network. Be a part of creating this new internet for the people, by the people. Visit Safe Network Tech. Join us today. I don't know what they do. I don't know what it's supposed to do. I'm sorry, guys. I don't really know. Like, I still don't get it. So it was a great question. But what does it do? Freedom of expression, control of personalized data, private and secure communications, a whole new economy. Welcome to the Safe Network. Guys, like, what? Well, we've seen all this stuff before, but hold on. Are you the future of finance? Are you going to be the next Bitcoin? Like, what other platitudes can we throw out here? I don't know. I don't mean to like tear these guys down, but we're getting tired of reading the same stuff over and over again, aren't we? And I apologize, bro, Kevin Muldoon, if you're in the audience, I love your face, buddy, and I love your accent too. It's great. But he's my favorite Scottish burglar. But decentralized and autonomous, freedom of expression by design. But I don't know any services that are built on top of it, right? Like we've got library that creates Odyssey, which we have a mirror of for this particular show, like this channel. We've got it over on Odyssey. That's in production right now. Even Saya Coin that some people have problems with. David Vorick, who went out of his way to create his own custom ASIC for the Saya miner, which I think was a pretty brilliant move if you're going to go with ASIC mining. David Vorick has gone out of his way to make Skynet something you can actually use. I've got a Skynet account for Saya Coin. You can actually use it now and put various parts of your website on it right now. Do like content hosting over there. Turn it into a decentralized CDN. But this, I don't know. 1Password, data portability, blockchain. I don't understand. Guys, maybe I'll find out more about this later on. I don't mean to just make this about FUD for Made Safe, but yeah, I don't get it. Could be that there was some kind of a pumping event earlier on when we made this portfolio, and now we're still just noticing that this is in the pole position because of a pump from earlier on. Never can tell. Can also never be too safe. Can also never be too paranoid. Can also never be too paid. Just saying. Well, of all the things you can never be. Yeah. Some goblin. That is the thing, right? Saya Coin. They had to go there, right? They're like, what should we call the name of our decentralized CDN? What should we call the name of our decentralized storage? Something that helps people feel at ease. Something that helps them feel safe. Skynet. Yes, we'll call it that. Most of these companies don't have a marketing department. Straight up. Like, if you talk to them, these founders don't talk to a marketer ever. Whatever. Their company to run, it's their funeral. But Chia, guys, yeah, way down below. And Signum, previously Burst, has really fallen in the ranks. And then, but let's see a coin. Guys, I'll even show you. Skynet, come on now. Oh, not SkewNet. Gosh, come on. Brain, work. Sorry, fingers work with brain. Saya Coin. And we'll take a look real time here. SayaSky.net. But yeah, they call it Skynet. Skynet for a decentralized future. Internet for decentralized internet for a free future. Sure. Skynet. A free future. Free as in beer or free as in speech? We want details. But you can create an account here. Gosh, there might even be some kind of a referral incentive that I could like send to you guys, like the old box.net days where you'd get an additional 5 megabytes for everybody you referred. Or was it 5 gigs? It wasn't a whole lot. I remember that. 500 megabytes or something. Anyway, point. Oh my gosh. RSM sus. Mine your dot sus. Bro, the moment the .sus top level domains come out, I'm totally getting that one. Thank you. Unless you take it first, which itself would be susception. Anyway, Skynet, it's a thing. It's a real thing. You guys should check it out. You can actually throw stuff on it now, but it's not super easy to use. It's in the live chat there. I'm not going to put it in the description of this video, but it's a thing. It exists. They have a product. It works. So you can't argue with that. Anyway, but that's hard drive mineable coins in our portfolio. CPU mineable coins. We've got Monero at the top of the list. Raptorium, it's there. Got it right. I told you guys. So Monero, Raptorium, then Wownero. Only Monero and Raptorium are above the break-even mark, and then Wownero and Veriscoin are both suffering. Veriscoin still down less than 30%, or down by more than 30% in the red. 24-hour action, we're up 1%, but our total P&L is still down 2%. So we're not quite there yet. Monero, though, very, very healthy pump over the last little while. You'll notice right here that trend kind of going way up, and then kind of retracing now, finding some support after going over $300. But people who hold Monero, pretty excited about that. And RS asks, do you buy good mining CPUs and put it in your mining rig, or is CPU mining useless? It's a great question. And I think for my part, my answer, let me get to that in a minute. First off, audience, if you CPU mine, or if you've bothered to even use the CPU from your GPU rigs to mine, go ahead and sound off. Tell RS what you do, right? But here's what I do. I just mine on the CPUs that I have available in GPU mineable rigs. I really don't go very far out of my way to get fancy CPUs, certainly not new CPUs, because the cost is pretty high and you can actually burn out CPUs by overclocking them faster than you can burn out GPUs by overclocking them. I know it's crazy, but it's true. You can use and abuse GPUs for a long time. CPUs, not so much. You can actually fry them pretty quickly by treating them too badly. Depending on whether or not you've delitted them, or back in the day, right, if you've lapped the die of your processor or used liquid metal or whatever else to get into your heat sinks, going with liquid cooling or something, right, like got a closed loop system or something, or some kind of water cooling system rather. So there's all kinds of stuff that you can do to help extend the life of CPUs, but it's not like GPUs where it's just like, okay, turn the fan on higher. Is it still hot? No? Good. Like, keep mining. GPUs really lend themselves to that a lot more. CPU mining is, you got to be a little more picky, I think. But maybe the rest of the audience will sound off as well. That's our CPU mining portfolio, though. Guys, you see Ferris coin still kind of suffering there quite a bit. Let's move from CPUs to ASICs, though. And in our ASIC mineable portfolio, Dash is now at the top of the list. But as far as being above the $1,000 mark, we start at Pirate Chain all the way up through Zcash, Bitcoin, Decred as well. Litecoin and Dogecoin are still coming up. Let's see. And oh, hey guys, we got some great news from Nicholas. He says, yo, good evening, man. Found a good deal yesterday and bought 2 secondhand 2060s. That is awesome. 2060 is a great card. Anything ending in a 60 by NVIDIA, usually pretty good, pretty efficient. So that's rad. Barry says, I don't overclock more than BIOS Auto-Tune and XMP. That's good. It seems like a great way to start. I just don't overclock at all unless it's on a workstation for specific reasons, and at least for CPUs, for a workstation for specific reasons. And even then, with the current parallelization, right, the core count and the clock speeds, I haven't needed to in order to get more performance for video encoding specifically, which is why I used to overclock back in the day. Now, it just doesn't make a difference, right? You've got all these different video codecs that are highly parallelized. X.26 or X264, the open source implementation of H264, is highly threaded. If you're using Handbrake, if you're using any other conversion tool, it's just not an issue anymore. It's just very optimized. So I haven't needed to overclock for that reason. And I don't get CPUs just for mining, so I wouldn't overclock them for that. That's just me though, guys. Again, that's just me. So it's good to hear, Barry chiming in as well. But let's see. Zotrak is saying low wattage CPUs have awesome temps from my experience. I will say yes, in some of the server builds that I have, I do go out of my way to get the Xeon L designated CPUs. So it's a massive L, but but there's some of the Xeons that have L at the end of the model to indicate that they're low power parts, and they still have relatively high clock speeds. So when I am configuring servers, I make sure that those CPUs would be okay for mining, if that makes sense, but I don't make that a priority or the central feature of new hardware so that I can become a CPU miner or something. Not something I'm interested in today. But bottom of the list is still Bytecoin, almost 30% down. Looks like our total daily change is 0.16%. Total P&L, we're up by 3%, which is awesome. We're in the red, or in the black, for ASICs as well. The bottom of the list is Bytecoin. I think this is appropriate, guys. Bytecoin, in my opinion, should be at the bottom of this list. Horizon, doing a little better, but not over the $800 mark. Dogecoin, almost at the $900 mark. And then Litecoin as well, making its way up towards the $1,000 mark. Looks like, guys, people who've been holding on to the proof of work mineable coins, have had their most of their investment made whole over the last little while. They've done pretty well. Got Hill B in the comments saying, hello all, ... That is an ellipse. What's next, Hill B? What do you want to say? What do you want to tell us? We're here to chat with you, bud. Go ahead and engage. FPGA mineable coins, Cadena is still at the top of the list. It's over $1,000 now, which is great for people who are hodling Cadena. 0x Bitcoin still at the bottom of the list, down by 46%. 24-hour change, 0.16, but we're still overall P&L negative 16 full percent. That's not good. This portfolio is not good. We're not even at $1,000 in our number 2 holding right now. Handshake has come up, I think, a little bit. It was not at number 3 spot before. So if people are strong believers in Handshake's mission, hopefully you're feeling better about the price right now. But we did put in $1,000 initially, and we did lose money from that initial investment based on the paper trade that we did back in May 26th. 0x Bitcoin still doing what 0x Bitcoin does. And we had a comment about that a little bit earlier on. Who mentioned it? Somebody mentioned 0x Bitcoin. Let me grab a sip of water here. Take a look. You can maybe refresh your comment. Yep, some Goblin Loser says, ooh, the 0x Bitcoin is my favorite. I don't know how to play it, but the chart makes me uncontrollably giddy. Bro, I am with you. It's great, right? You see that volatility, and it's funny because it's the biggest loser in this portfolio. But we'll pop this open as a primer to anybody who's watching right now. We talk about this on a fairly regular basis, guys, and this is not a strategy channel, and I'm not giving you advice, obviously, but the point is that when you look at certain coins and you look at certain price movements, even a knuckle dragger like me sees certain kinds of volatility and realizes, oh, that's what swing trading is all about, isn't it? People identify opportunities like this, and then they take advantage of it in some way. I mean, you fill in the blank there, right? And then magic happens, right? And then you win. The how you do it probably matters, right? It's not just magic. You have to have a strategy and a plan. And I don't know the rest of those steps, but it does seem like you can buy low and sell high consistently for swing trades when you see a chart that does this consistently every single day, right? Like, you should be able to identify points that even somebody who's kind of risk averse would say, like, all right, well, maybe I can buy that and maybe I can make that profitable. And so, yeah, I'm with some Goblin Loser. I take a look at the 0x Bitcoin chart and I think, like, wow, maybe even I could learn how to swing trade this. So we take a look at this, 55 cents right now. It's up 3%. It's on an upswing, and it's always consistently doing this. 3% up. What did it do before? It was 3% down from its previous. I'm sorry, almost 4% down from its previous. This is 24 hours, guys. So you had an opportunity. If you had a bot doing this, and maybe you didn't need to sleep ever, maybe you got, like, a superhuman ability to stay awake for 24 hours straight, you could buy here, sell here. Buy here, sell here. Buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, or, sell here and then buy here, wait until you get a much deeper target, but because you'd have to definitely sell here. And if you didn't, you'd have to sell over here with see that much smaller gain. But buy, sell, or buy, sell, wait till you hit a much higher target. Buy, sell, or buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy. You see, rinse and repeat. How many times a day? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 tops in 24 hours. Roughly every 2 hours, this thing oscillates, or almost every hour on the hour, it does this, and then this, and then this, and then this, and then this. Every hour on the hour. It's like clockwork, guys. So yeah, I get excited by it too. It's like, dude, seriously? There have to be more coins like this. And I don't mean to turn like this live stream, right? We're all going to turn into swing traders now, right? We're like, hey, yeah, we all did whatever. I remember back in 2021 when I learned how to swing trade, and, on this fancy live stream by Mind Your Biz, we all figured out how to swing trade, and now, right? And then a miracle happens, right? In between, magic happens, and now we're all millionaires. There's a lot of work, right? I don't want to make this look simple. I'm sure it's not as simple as it looks, but it's cool, right? It's really cool to see something like that. There's got to be other coins that do this as well. So, yeah, Zotrack. Yeah, he says, the chart goes flatline as soon as I buy. Yeah, right? That's the thing, right? Like, and that's just it. Like, Yeah, as miners, right? We've been at least bitten once, right? Where we're like, okay, I tried to speculate. I tried to buy a coin that I thought I had a lot of conviction in. And we all have those horror stories, right? Which is like, yeah, that's why I just mine. It's easy, right? Flip the thing on, make sure it's fed power, make sure it doesn't burn out. We're good. Right? It's a lot simpler. It's closer to what we know. We can put our hands on the thing and change it if we don't like it. But yeah, this, it looks cool. It sounds cool. The concept is solid, right? It makes logical sense to us. But yeah, I'm with you. I would touch this and it'd be like for 3 days straight. It'd be like, what? How did 0x Bitcoin, flash crash or like flatline? Like you're saying, it would totally be because one or several of us bought in and tried to do this swing trade thing or automated swing trading or whatever. It's crazy. See, He'll Be is saying, I mine everything I get. That's awesome, man. Glad to hear it. But that's the 0x Bitcoin chart. It's definitely something else. Just does that thing. It's like honey badger. Just takes what it wants and then oscillates over and over and over and over and over again. All right, that's our FPGA mining portfolio, guys. Time for the pièce de résistance. I finally got them put in. It is the proof of stake smart contract portfolio. You're welcome. Here it is. Terra. Top of the list, and not by a tiny bit. Guys, look at this. Look at them gains. Gains. That's what we call them. Gains with a Z. This is nuts. Look at this. 24-hour change. It's up 12%. Total P&L in the black by almost 50%. It's the only side of the portfolio that is. And these are all so-called Ethereum killer coins. That's what all of these have in common. Almost all of them. A lot of them, I should say. Crazy. Crazy. You can't mine these. Look at what all these did. Terra, up over 300%. Currently, with that $1,000 put in, you'd have over 4K. Yankee says, I heard of this new company called BitConnect. Big return. Should I invest? Nah. I mean, like, you can. But then all my alpha will be lost. That's the only thing I know how to shill here. So no, go get your own live stream, Yankee, and shill your own BitConnect. I mean, you just shill BitConnect, whatever. There's not enough room for both of us to shill BitConnect, guys. Go follow my referral link for BitConnect. Out of here. But yeah, no, seriously, it's crazy. It's crazy, guys. Here's the thing. These actually do have utility, and that's what I like about them. There is no affiliate incentive, right? I can't give you a referral code for like Wax or whatever. Atomic Hub, maybe. I don't know. But Wax, Solana, I can't give you a referral fee. Cardano, like I was reluctant to put it on the list, but somebody called it out, and I'm like, okay, I guess I have to put it on the list. If we have Solana on the list, I've got to put Cardano on the list too. We did. It's number 4. It's up by a massive percentage point, right? It's a percentage basis. It's up over $1,500, up over $1,600. Our break-even point right here, break-even line, is even Tron is back in the money. Based on putting $1,000 into all these coins back on May 26th. Neo is the cream of the crap, right? It's still below what we put in for $1,000, but it's not totally dead yet. Yeah, we got a couple people signing off in the comment section, guys. Thanks for hanging with us for as long as you can. Really appreciate that. Thanks for again hitting that thumbs up. Thanks for sharing the video. Thank you for being subscribed. Clicking all the buttons helps. I know it sounds like we're begging all the time. We ask for a reason. It's kind of a game, and part of the game is poking all the buttons. So thanks. But yeah, Neo is the cream of the crap. It's definitely there. It's not dead yet. EOS is right behind it, right? It's in, I guess it's almost $100 lower. Dang. Zilliqa is just behind it. But our biggest loser is ICP. Is anyone shocked? I'll wait. Nope, still crickets. Okay, still crickets for ICP. Polygon is number 2 from the bottom. That kind of surprises me a little more, not gonna lie, because Polygon is being used, right? As far as like payouts, I'm taking Polygon payouts over on Ethermine. There are plenty of people who are using various DeFi instruments on Polygon, just like Binance Smart Chain. So, and we can't really measure Binance Smart Chain adoption, but we can put Binance Coin here, and BNB is kind of our proxy for Binance Smart Chain utilization, I guess. It's not the same thing though, right? It's really not the same thing. but it's doing a lot better, right? But even Binance Smart Chain is doing better than Polygon. And I am confused by that. I really am. Because Polygon does seem like it's maybe a little bit less centralized. Maybe not, though, guys. I've also read some bad things about the validators and the consensus model that it uses, suggesting that it is a little bit more centralized. But as it is right now, I can get my Ethermine payouts on Matic. And see, Gavin Dawson Crypto saying it's criminal how few people watch this, homie. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Definitely appreciate that. We'll see. Joe Cosio is saying, I think Polygon hit all-time high in May. That's why you bought it at a bad time. Yeah. Hey, we put together a portfolio at a bad time, I think. But we put it at a so-called bad time for a lot of other projects. And you know, we did that for a reason. We tried to get all of them together, right? So it's on equal footing with the rest of these. Maybe a bad time for that project relative to its all-time high, but it's an even foot race with the rest of them from May 26th. John Clayton saying, insane clown posse. I was busy. LOL. Yeah, right. ICP, bottom of the list. Crazy. But it's down 53%, down pretty bad. But yeah, even Tron is above $1,000. It's above break even. And even Neo, right, is looking not terrible in terms of it being something that people will put their money into. So I'm a little bit confused here as to why that's all happening, guys. Polkadot, not a shock. In fact, I expected Polkadot to be a little bit higher in the rankings, but Solana has NFTs circulating on it. Now it has developers working on it. Now it has smart contracts running on it. Now it has 10,000 TPS now. And there's a reason that it's in the position that it's in. Wax, it's got Tops, right? It's got Tops and it's got Funko. It's got so many other companies that are launching NFTs on its platform via various platforms, such as Atomic Hub. So it's kind of like, yeah, it's kind of a shock that, like, to some people to see Wax come up, but it was just listed on Binance because they've got all these other companies that are launching NFTs on it. William Shatner and Leonard Nimoy, they released their limited edition NFTs, some of their old like acting headshots and stuff on Wax. So not too big a shock to see Wax coming up, but Polkadot, yeah, little bit surprised there. Zotrax is saying Weezer just launched something on Wax. Yeah, guys, this is the thing. If you got an established name, Wax is not a bad platform to drop your NFTs on. Ethereum still takes the cake as far as like total value locked into a given ecosystem. Specifically for NFTs, you've got OpenSea, you've got Rarible, you've got all these other Mintable and others that allow you to do lazy minting and even Matic based minting on OpenSea, and then shift your profits into Ethereum or have your profits denominated in wrapped Ethereum. And so Ethereum is still kind of the cornerstone of NFTs, and they've got far more varieties of NFTs, not just ERC 721s, but ERC 998s and ERC 1155s. So many other very intricate smart contracts that can help you contain NFTs. And Ethereum does that. Other platforms don't. And I'm a little bit surprised that Ethereum isn't doing better because of the NFT rush there. But yeah. Let's see. Zotrak was saying the Leonard Nimoy collection was so boring. Haha. Yeah, you know, you're right. Here's the thing, though. It happened posthumously. I think they were just trying to collect stuff that they could sell, and it was a cash grab. I think probably for his estate and for his family. Can't hate on the guy for that, right? Like, but he wasn't around to curate the thing. William Shatner was around to curate his own portfolio and his own little NFT drop. So, yeah, there's a difference. If the artist is still alive to decide what's going to go in, I think there's a huge difference. But yeah, guys, this is our proof of stake smart contract portfolio, and it's just slaying right now. It's just destroying right now by comparison to the other portfolios. Wax, you see right there, straight line up, parabolic. That's because of a Binance listing. You only get that level of a pump after a Binance listing, you know? Yeah, Solana been a little bit like it. They've worked for it a lot more. They've got their own little trading pattern. I think it's decorrelated from Bitcoin. And then Binance Coin, I think, is a little more closely correlated to Bitcoin. That last move, especially that last formation. Same with Neo, very much a slave to Bitcoin's price movement, not doing anything unique on its own or getting any particularly interesting news on its own. But, you know, it just, that's what happens when you're established projects like that. And Zilliqa as well. And Internet Computer just dragging. But a lot of the others look like they're very strongly correlated to Bitcoin. Let's take a look just one more time. Jump back into the ASIC portfolio. Take a look at Bitcoin. So that's our chart for Bitcoin right there, right? Beginning of the week, 7 days ago, kind of low with a double bottom before jumping up. And then, yeah, a couple big pushes up. And then most recently a rally. And now maybe finding some support. Maybe we're not, though. Maybe we're not. Maybe that is a little bit of a little mini dead cat bounce as it continues to seek lower support. Maybe not. But yeah, a lot of these other coins are very much correlated to it. All right, guys, let's take a look at our Bitcoin chart. Appreciate you guys being here. This is kind of the big reveal. After we look at our Bitcoin chart, I'm going to be asking you to, after the live stream, come back to this video, leave a comment in the main comment section. The next live stream we do, I will be using our random comment selector. I'll get it right this time. Use our random comment selector to choose somebody to receive an NFT when we drop an NFT in collaboration with an artist right now who's working on an NFT series that they want us to promote exclusively, well, me to promote exclusively on this channel. I feel very, what's the word? I'm honored by this artist's willingness to work with me to do the drop, but we have that exclusive. So we're going to be able to give away, I think it's 1 per week that we're doing for the next 2 weeks. So I need you to leave comments after this video is over in the main comment section so we can put that into the random comment selector and we can give that NFT away when the time comes, right? When they're minted, those will be automatically dropped to our winners. But I'm excited about that, guys. NFTs are big right now, and you figure, not asking you to buy anything, somebody from the audience who's here and then comments is going to win. So I feel good about being able to do that. All right, let's jump out of the way here, take a look at our Bitcoin chart. All right, Bitcoins. Okay, we saw that upward channel. It totally did not move it even remotely close to that upward channel. 200-day is still right on the rise, but 50-day is showing signs of leveling off. And we played just the tip with 50K right there. And then we said, yeah, peekaboo. And we're back down. It looks like right now we're wicking down even lower into the 48,000 range. Some people are saying that, yeah, we had a little bit of we've had bull traps before along the way. This may be as well. This isn't really the last leg up. I've heard from some people, but this is not the last leg up. I don't know what will be. But guys, really, what else is new? This is not a technical analysis show. We occasionally will just draw channels to see like, okay, well, maybe it moves up, but we totally leveled off. I think it is more than just a psychological barrier here, though. And I've said it before. I think it's more likely that what we're seeing here is some kind of institutional price suppression. So we got institutions like JP Morgan and others that are basically saying like, no, we want more cheap Bitcoin because we're going to offer it to our clients later on, or we're going to offer them some kind of a junk derivative product, like some kind of futures or something else, or some kind of like a representation, but not the native asset. We're not going to give you real Bitcoin. We're going to let you buy it at a premium from us, fake Bitcoin, right? So we want to buy the cheap Bitcoin, and then we want to sell people Bitcoin at other prices and, do that later on. It's funny because now they pretty much can't deny that it's a good investment for them. So I think that's what's happening. I think that's what's been happening for some time. I think that's why we kept seeing really strong resistance at key levels. And while we're still seeing strong resistance at key levels, and like was mentioned before, the first articles, the futures and the options are just not showing this. They're just not showing that there should be any kind of exuberance or like real support for us breaking out past the 50K level. Now, again, guys, this is not me saying that I'm some expert at this stuff. It's me just reading the news and me just reading what people who are smarter at this than I am are saying. And they're just saying that, yeah, 50K, they don't see us going like racing to 100K after this, right? Because there's always going to be that one person, right, who's like, okay, I know what we're going to do. Let's see. Oh, can I do a brush? Where's my freehand draw? Come on, freehand draw line. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do instead? Boop. Yeah. Okay, freehand draw line. We're just gonna use the snapshot tool instead. Just the snipping tool. So there's always gonna be that person who's like, and then right at this point, what does Bitcoin do? Right at this point, Yeah, we're going to go down a little bit and then boop, all right, that's our chart right there, up to 100K, right? Obviously, any idiot can see the line. It's going to 100K right away, like right now. We're just going to find support here at the 200-day moving average, and then it's off like a rocket ship. Buckle up. Like, I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'm really not convinced that's the way that Bitcoin is going to move this time. But yeah, do I genuinely fear that we're going to go down to like whatever 29K again? I don't genuinely fear that. That's not something that I'm actually thinking about. But I am just taking a look at this and being very realistic about the fact that we didn't sustain 50K. We tested it. We didn't hold on. So let's take a look at the current channel that we're in and draw some lines. There we go. Tops to tops. Kind of, yeah, actually kind of a descending triangle. And then 48K-ish if I'm just drawing chopsticks again, right, guys? So just with chopsticks, right? Our chopstick indicator says maybe 48K. Maybe that's where we find a recovery. And looking at the trend right now, if I just quickly just try to draw along with the 200-day there, see if we can kind of match its color a little bit. So yeah, maybe we're somewhere along the range of like 47.5 or 48, maybe. But guys, I'm just drawing lines. I'm not using any other tools at all. No other indicators. I'm not pretending to know anything else about this. But I'm looking at this and just kind of saying, okay, we were rejected because the other news, because of the other market intelligence that was gathered about there not being enough real investment where it matters, enough real volume in the places where it matters to show that we'll be able to sustain that upward price discovery. But it doesn't mean that we're not going to go back into price discovery sometime soon. Guys, this is crypto, right? Welcome back. We can go to price discovery at almost any moment, right? Especially now that we're in the middle of what's probably still, in the grand scheme of things, probably still in the middle of a bull run. It just looks like we're crabbing sideways in the middle of a bull run. All right, guys, that's our show. Do you have any questions for me? Are you going to participate? Are you excited about us partnering with an artist to release some NFTs or to announce and promote their NFTs? I'm kind of excited by it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have agreed to it. Am I getting paid directly? No. Am I going to get some NFTs? Yes. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to be able to give some away to the community. So please do leave those comments when this video finishes up. Like when the live stream ends, refresh this video, come back, leave those comments, guys. Thanks for watching all the way to the end of the video. Slamming the like button, the share button, the subscribe, and the bell icon. All those buttons help us, and any of the links you see down in the description, they help too. Guys, you're the reason I make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end of the video. If you want to be notified of videos like this in the future, first off, click subscribe, press the bell icon. Additionally, you can sign up for the Mind Your Biz email newsletter. That'll give you exclusive access to certain freebies, notifications for deals within the cryptocurrency mining space, as well as some of our flash sales for merchandise, which you can buy with cryptocurrency. That's right. It's the only cryptocurrency merch that you can buy with cryptocurrency. We practice what we preach. As always, thank you so much for watching. You're the reason I make this media. I love your face, and I will see you in the next one.